Hello and welcome to the video. This is a look at this thing here. This is the M8S from ToolKit RC. I'll put a link down below. You can get them from places like Banggood and other spots too. Now, I looked at the predecessor of this a little while ago on the channel, and it's one of those things that has stayed on my shelf. It's not only a charger, it's also a signal generator, and it also measures things like PWM, S-bus and those kind of bits too. Now, this is an upgraded version of that original product that I still have here, and occasionally you get these kind of things in for review or evaluation, and at the end of it you think, actually that's so blooming useful, I'm going to keep hold of that one. So I'm interested to see what this other version has changed. The good news is it hasn't changed an awful lot. All the things that were on the original M8 are still here, with two big differences. As I take the top off the box here, you'll spot the first one. The screen is an awful lot bigger, and this time it's actually a colour screen too. Now, there's what's laughingly called a manual, but to be honest, it's pretty straightforward to use, and there's this little double-ended USB cable, and that's for plugging it into your computer to update the firmware. Another thing I really like to see on this kind of technology. Now, sadly, they haven't updated the rotary control, although I've got used to that. A slightly more raised rotary control would be good. So if I just bring in the original M8 that's been used a lot here, you can see the differences, well, or lack of them really. You can get the new M8S in both white and black. I actually prefer the black. The white just shows up all the grubbiness. So if I just plug it in and show you what the original one looked like, there we are. There is all the stuff. So you've got the charger, measurer, output and setting, and everything is relatively easy to navigate. The other big difference here is the wattage. The power output for the charger has increased, as well as its color screen. So if I just power this up, you'll see that now the screen is a lot bigger. I think it's a little bit clearer, and you have access to all of the same functionality. So let me very quickly show you what it looks like. So on the end we have the same 5 volts 2 amp output, which is great for kind of charging things at the field off a LiPo battery. You have your input and output for the servo stuff. On the other side you've got your connections via charger. On the back is the XT60 for plugging it in with the 2 big fans. So if I just grab the original M8 and kind of have a look, it looks like, I'm not sure the slots are any bigger for the cooling. It might just be the colour plastic, and everything else looks exactly the same. So it's just the top, I think, that's been modified to have the additional space for the much larger colour display. Now, as I mentioned, this is one of those little devices that I just keep by my desk all the time because it will do so much stuff. The first thing, of course, is that you can use it now as a 400-watt charger. Plug a battery or DC power supply in the back, and then you can connect up and do your standard bits and pieces to charge batteries. The increase in power from 300 to 400 watts is very welcome. I tend to use mine more as a discharger than a charger, but it's great to have this there when you have lots and lots of batteries on the go. It's quite a nice little charger to use and seems to work pretty well. So if I just plug a battery in here, you can store different LiPo settings, and it will do things like also measure the resistance of the cells as well, which is a very handy feature. So I sometimes use this as a little LiPo checker too. If I've got it on the desk and I've got it powered up, just plug it in and just see how everything is working. Next one then is measurement. You can do loads of different measurements of PWM outputs, S-bus, power output, those kind of things. And then you can also start outputting different signals for PWM, S-bus, ppm and other things too. So this is also handy as something like a servo checker, and also if you want to make sure that the S-bus input or whatever it is on your flight controller is working okay, you can hook this up and just test it, and you can set each of the channel values and watch the values change in the Betaflight iNav or Ardu Pilot or whatever you're using. Again, a really handy little function. One of those things that when I initially saw it I thought, am I going to use that? But it's amazing how often you think, oh, it would be really good if I could just, and then realize that you have this on the shelf behind you. So this is another one of those things that I am a huge fan of. In fact, I've managed to get my hands on 2 of them here. So I'm going to give one of them away on the channel. So if you're interested in having a go with one of these M8Ss, then please make sure you've liked the video, make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, and leave a comment down below, and I'll do the draw in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching the video and watching right to the very end. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you like the video and like what I'm doing here, then hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon too. If you really like what I'm doing, you can go the extra mile and become one of my Patreons for access to me directly for support, and also giveaways and regular updates too. If you're looking for particular content, then check out the playlist. I organise all of my videos into playlists, so if you're looking for a particular topic, you can find everything here. If it's called Introduction To, it's designed to start very simply and build on that simple introduction to teach you all about it. If it's called For Beginners, then that is really aimed at people who are brand new to that part of the hobby. You can also search on YouTube for anything that you're interested in using the search function at the top. So iNav Painless 360 will find all of my videos and even the playlists around iNav. So thanks again for watching, and happy flying.